Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, okay, let's just, we talk about home buying and development and everything. Can we just go ahead and say, though, that if you're renting a home or you're renting an apartment, the rental market has lost its mind? Can we just go ahead and say that? The rental industry has, used to, you would pay your first and last months in a deposit and everything was covered. You may have had an application fee, but everything was covered under that umbrella except for the application fee. Now, that's not so much anymore. Now there's a hold fee. Yeah, if you want an apartment and you qualify for it and you're moving in August and it's June and you sign it, yeah, there's a hold fee. You pay a fee for them holding that apartment for you. Application fee. Now you pay for background checks. You pay for the background check of yourself. The apartment complex runs it or the rental agency runs it, but they charge you for running it. There's garbage fees, recycling fees. There's fees for them to make keys for you now. A key costs $4 to make. They charge upwards of $50 for key fees. There's parking fees. That's right. If you rent an apartment, you still have to pay for parking. There's maintenance fees. And that don't even get started if you got a dog or a cat. First off, it's almost impossible to find a place if you have a dog and a cat. But if you do find a place with a dog or cat, get ready, because you're going to have to give a pet deposit. And now they're even charging monthly rent for your pets. That's right. Before, pet deposits are not that unusual. Okay, before they were like $75. Now they're a little more than that because pets can cause damage. I get that. Sometimes you got to replace carpet and stuff because you got a pet that has too many accidents. Okay, and I understand charging a pet deposit before you paid the deposit once. I understand paying the deposit if you got more than one pet. I get that. But I don't understand that you got to pay rent on that pet. That pet's not doing anything. It's staying inside your apartment. It's not causing any issues. You've already paid the deposit, but you got to pay rent like it's a person living in your house on the pet. You don't have to do that on your kids, but you got to do it with your pets. Wait, there's even more. Now, a lot of apartment complex or rental companies are charging you, requiring you, and then charging you for doing it, to have your dogs or cats, well, mainly dogs, DNA tested. Because they don't want the dreaded pit bull or pit bull mix in their complex. It's not the dog's fault, folks. It's the owner's fault that raises the dogs the wrong way. But now they're having DNA tests, so you can't have like Rottweiler or Rottweiler mixes, pit bull or pit bull mixes, American Staffordshire or American Staffordshire mixes. The dogs they deem dangerous. They're making you take DNA tests, and you're paying for the DNA test. I mean, it's what was thousands of dollars now is even more when it comes with your outlay for first month, last month, and deposits with all the fees you got to pay. And it's all because they've unbundled all these costs. All these things were covered in your monthly rent. Now they're charging them a la carte. And it's just a way that more landlords are getting from their renters money to recoup the money they lost during COVID. I understand that. But it's getting to be where they're pricing themselves out of the market. I mean, if you go in to get an apartment, 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartments, $1,500 a month for a nice apartment. Then we got to pay $200 pet rent every month because you got 2 pets. And then you got to pay the background fee. And I bet the first and last plus security deposit, that's $4,500. Plus with all the fees and everything, it's over $5,000 if you're trying to move into a $1,500 a month apartment. It's over $5,000 you got to put out originally. I don't know about you folks. I don't know a lot of people that just have $5,000 laying around, so they can rent an apartment or rent a house. Fees on top of fees on top of fees. They've unbundled them. They were all covered. It was all under the same umbrella. You paid your rent. It covered these different fees. Nope, now you got to pay those separately. On top of what you're paying for rent. Your rent didn't come down, though. They took those items out of your rent but kept you paying the same amount of rent, and now you got to pay for these items too. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. And that's right here in Ocala. I mean, rent is, through the roof, though. Let's see how rent prices in Florida rank among the U.S. markets. The 10 highest the 10 highest areas of rent in the U.S., tie for ninth, so it's, those are the 2/10. Honolulu and Riverside, California. Boston is 8th on the list. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, 7th on the list. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Anaheim, 6. San Diego, 5. New York, 4th. Ventura, California, 3rd. San Francisco, 2nd. And the most expensive place to rent in the United States, San Jose, California. On average, $3,200 a month in rental in San Jose. The Miami Fort Lauderdale area is at $2,850 a month. Is the average rent. Now, where are the 10 lowest areas to rent in the country? Well, number 1 on the list, Youngstown, Ohio, $853 on average. Then Wichita, Kansas, McAllen, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Des Moines, Iowa, Akron, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Omaha, Nebraska, Dayton, Ohio, and Scranton, Pennsylvania. What's the key there? They're all in the Midwest, except for Scranton, PA. And it basically is in the Midwest. But Florida is one of the most expensive places to live, where we choose to live. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Good morning, Tom. You're sure making a good excuse to go buy a mobile home.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Think about that, Sonny. Over $5,000, and that's just to get into an apartment or a house as a renter.
Yep. And I bet, like you said, all the other added fees, garbage and all that. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Thanks for the call, Sonny.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Let me tell you how the 10 Florida areas that made the list are. Miami, Fort Lauderdale is the most expensive place to live. Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton, second most expensive place to live, at 13th on the list. Port St. Lucie, 14th on the list. Fort Myers, 15th on the list. Gainesville, Ocala, 20th on the list. Tampa, 20 on 20, tied with Tampa. Orlando, 21st. Melbourne, 29th. Lakeland, 35th. Daytona Beach, 39th. And Jacksonville, 44th. I know the Gainesville, Ocala, we get looped in with Gainesville. Ocala would not be that high on the list if it wasn't for Gainesville. I know that. But here's the shocker. Since last year, year-over-year change, the number one place in the state of Florida, Fort Myers rent has increased by 33% in 1 year. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, 31%. Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton by 30%. Tampa by 27%. Port St. Lucie by 25.5%. Lakeland by 24%. Orlando, 23.75%. Melbourne, 22.5%. Daytona Beach, 21.8%. Jacksonville, 20.39% increase. So all those places have increased their rent by 20% or more just in 1 year. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. Say, where I live here in this mobile home park, you can buy a fairly nice mobile home between, let's say, 22 and 35,000, and the rent is 700. So it's basically it's nice living here, and it's reasonable, you know. And the places that go up for sale, they sell them pretty quick.
Right. I'm just, I'm worried about how many fees, because you have a lot of the places in there. Do you have a rental place in there, or is it a lot of people own them and then use rental companies to rent them?
Well, I would say probably three quarters are owned, and then there's a quarter rental.
And the quarter rental,
mostly
that's management companies that run those, right?
Yeah, and it's mostly snowbirds going back and forth with the rental,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways, what I'm trying to say, though, you can for a decent money, not a lot of, you can buy a pretty decent home. It's very nice in here. It's convenient, and it's well kept up and everything else. And it's a very nice place to live, and it's reasonable.
Right, but it's not. It's very difficult for a family of 5 to live there.
Well, they're exactly right. It's 55 and older,
Right. See, and that's another issue. There's another thing that holds it back. Is you got to be my age or older to get in. Thanks for the call, Hugh.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick. With the economy and the price of food and gas and rent, and I don't know how people are making it. I see a terrible future coming here for us in this country. I don't know what's going to happen, but it almost seems impossible to afford living here.
I fight it every day, Hugh. I don't want to give doom and gloom, but look, it's something my wife and I struggle with every day. And I'm sure we're not the only ones. And we both have, she's an entrepreneur with her own company. I've been in radio for a while. I've done trivia and everything, and we still, with the inflation and the way things have been, our fuel bill has increased almost $1,000, almost $500 a month, just in fuel.
Yeah. So all those poor families that are paycheck to paycheck and are really fighting it, it's just, I hope it ain't going to be, but I really have very, very a lot of fear for the future of this country in the near future.
I don't disagree with you, Hugh. Thanks for the call.
Okay. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, Hugh's entirely correct. The future of our country hangs in the balance. I firmly believe that. We got to take a break, come back, wrap up a Wednesday edition of Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
At Bob Wine's Community Gardens in Ocala, that big full-page ad is just the beginning of the savings each week. For money-saving yard and garden ideas, you've got to see for yourself, so plan on coming out some morning and enjoy a walk through this gorgeous 5-acre garden. This week, Bob has blooming hanging baskets, buy one,